The supernatural realm of the further is back in Insidious the Red Door, and it probably would have been better not to open the door to begin with. Let's get into it. Hello movie fans, I'm Matt, and today we're unlocking the door and discussing Insidious the Red Door starring Ty Simpkins, Patrick Wilson, and Rose Byrne. I've really got to stop with these puns. Series regular Patrick Wilson takes up directing duties for the first time in his career and has us going back to the family that started it all, the Lamberts. It's been 9 years since the events of Insidious Chapter 1 and 2, and Josh Dalton, played by Patrick Wilson, heads east to drop off his son Dalton, played by Ty Simpkins, off at school. However, Dalton's college dream soon becomes a living nightmare when the repressed demons of his past suddenly return to haunt them both. Now quickly, I love the first film of this franchise, and I like number 2, but each installment since then has suffered from diminishing returns. I mean, this is actually the 5th film of the franchise. How many of you knew that? But James Wan and Lee Whannell, who directed and wrote Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 respectively, were already favorites of mine. I mean, these guys burst onto the horror scene having done Saw and Dead Silence together, but Insidious Chapter 1 had me looking at horror movies in a whole new light. But now Patrick Wilson, known for his acting prowess, makes a solid directorial debut with Insidious the Red Door. His understanding of the genre shines through, and the film does maintain a consistent tone and eerie atmosphere throughout. And personally, the film excels in building that tension and delivers some truly excellent jump scares. With these expertly crafted and suspenseful moments, you will definitely be on the edge of your seat at times. One thing I think the film deserves praise for is its ability to maintain continuity and keep the characters true to their established personas. I think this is especially true for actor Ty Simpkins, who plays Dalton, who feels very natural and very true to his younger self that we saw all those years ago. And honestly, it's refreshing to see a sequel respect the foundations laid by its predecessors, and it ensures a nice seamless transition for us as the audience. But I do feel the drawback of the film is the focus on family trauma and the past events, which becomes a very dominant angle rather than emphasizing the horror elements. And look, within the storyline, it's been 9 years since Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, so that angle does intrigue me, no doubt. It's an interesting way to play off of the happy ending that we got in Chapter 2, but the shift may leave some of you horror enthusiasts wanting a far more intense and terrifying experience. Another issue that lies in the film is that it feels very reminiscent of its predecessors and its recurring themes, and to some of you, that may be exactly what you want. And while it's natural for a series to build upon its established foundation, Insidious the Red Door treads very familiar territory without offering fresh elements to truly captivate the audience. I mean, we're literally watching characters go through the same type of story progressions that we saw them go through in Chapter 1, which is fine for them, but we've already seen it as an audience. And because a lot of the runtime is filled with this exploration of past trauma, the film wraps up rather swiftly. It's almost as if the movie realized its length and needed to wrap it up. And the thread of the film doesn't really quite reach the same level of dread and menace as its predecessors. The sense of impending danger feels a bit diluted, lacking the same impact that made the previous installments so hauntingly memorable. Considering all these factors, I really cannot give my recommendation for Insidious the Red Door. And I don't think it's a bad movie in terms of filmmaking. It definitely has its moments of tensions and well-executed scares. But the film's focus on trauma and deviation from the core horror aspects hindered its ability, at least for me, to deliver a truly gripping experience. But keep in mind that the beauty of horror is in its ability to evoke different reactions in each of its viewers. So if you're a diehard fan of this franchise, you may find enjoyment in this film. As always, I encourage you to watch the film and form your own opinion though. Let me know about it down in the comments below and have your voices heard. Also, if you enjoyed this review, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel to get a new movie review from me every week. Next week, Tom Cruise continues to show us how crazy he is as Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 comes to theaters. That was a mouthful. And with it being a Part 1, this means it's a cliffhanger ending. Again, it's the summer of cliffhanger endings. I don't understand it. Have I told you lately how much I hate cliffhanger endings? Maybe this will be the mission that Tom Cruise finally fails. Yeah, right. Come on. It's Tom Cruise. Like he's going to fail Mission Impossible. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys at the theaters next week.